These days, it seems like everyone is obsessed with video content, and while showing up on video can be fun, it can also certainly be a little bit intimidating. But since video is at the forefront of pretty much every major social media platform right now, and I believe it is essential to the success of a modern day content creator, I wanted to film a video today to share my top 10 tips for showing up on camera with confidence so that you can dive into video with no hesitations. Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new here. My name is Austen and I am a fashion and beauty content creator based in New York City. I use this channel to help micro-influencers create great content, grow their digital brands, and make sustainable income from content creation. So if any of that interests you, please do consider subscribing to my channel for new videos every Tuesday. While I have always felt pretty confident in my ability to speak to people, I definitely had some learning curves to face when I first started creating video content. I'll have to see if I can find some visual clips to share on the screen for this portion of the video from some of my earliest YouTube videos, but for instance, I really didn't know anything about how to use my camera, and my first videos were often shot out of focus or with distracting backlighting. So whether like me, you feel like you're technically behind when it comes to video, or if you find yourself fumbling over your words when you sit down and go to speak, this video is for you. I'm here today to help you out and give you 10 actionable tips so that you can show up on camera with confidence. Let's get into them. Tip number 1 is to find an area to film where you feel comfortable and where it's quiet so that you can focus and get good content. As you guys know, I do live in a city and in an apartment building, so there are occasionally sounds in the hallways or on the street or whatever it is, and as much as I can do it, I try to pick times, like for example, it's early in the morning right now where I know that kids are not out from school yet, or that people have already gone off to work, and that I can sit here and focus and film in a nice quiet place so that you guys get good sound and there aren't any distractions. Tip number 2 is take the pressure off of yourself and remember that you can always do multiple different takes. I actually just did 4 different takes of me saying tip number 2 before I landed on this one that I know I like, and because I have ample storage on my memory card, or for you, if you're filming on your phone, you can check and see how much storage you have available and make sure that you have enough so you can film as much as you want and always worry about editing down later. Tip number 3 is to do a test run of your video somewhere where you can watch yourself. So whether that is in the viewfinder of your camera, like I can see myself in the viewfinder of my Canon camera right now. I have a link to this camera also in the description box of this video if you want to go see what it looks like. Or you can also do this on FaceTime with a friend or even in the mirror. By doing a test run of your video somewhere where you can look and see yourself, you'll be able to see what you'll look like on camera. And that way you can see if you are playing with your hair or talking with your hands a lot. I know I'm very guilty of doing that, but it's kind of part of my videos now. And just take note of anything that you may want to adjust or modify when you are talking to the camera. My 4th tip is to test your filming equipment to make sure that you're in focus, that the lighting looks good, and that you are framed in the video the way that you want to be. So I actually still always do a test shot, even though at this point I know how my camera works and I have a camera with autofocus, just to make sure that everything looks good before I sit down and film for 20 minutes only to discover that that footage is unusable. Tip number 5 is to wear something that makes you feel confident. So in my videos, I am almost always in a dress or top that is a fun color because I tend to feel more confident when I'm wearing color, and I also like how it plays in a little bit with my background. It helps me stand out a lot more than if I were wearing black or white. So that's kind of my go-to look for a YouTube video, but you can find whatever makes you feel the most comfortable and confident and that works for you. And I think that if you show up looking and feeling good, that will really come through on camera as well. Tip number 6 is when you're filming a video, remember who you're talking to and what point you're trying to get across. For example, I know that in all of the videos I film here on my YouTube channel, my goal is to talk to content creators and help give them tips and strategies to feel confident with content creation and give them the know-how to navigate this industry and run a creator business. So that's always in the back of my mind whenever I'm filming these videos, and it really helps keep me focused and motivated when I'm on camera, and that I think is another way that your confidence can really shine through. If you are not 100% clear on your niche or who your audience is, I highly recommend checking out my free guide, The Influencer Launchpad. This is a free resource that I've created for anyone who is newer to content creation, just starting out, or who maybe has an existing platform and is looking for a way to refine or refresh that platform. It's just filled with tons of actionable tips and resources, including figuring out what posting platform is best for you, finding your why as a creator, and so much more. So you can grab that free guide from the link down below in the description box, and that'll also sign you up for my free creator newsletter, which goes out every Wednesday. Tip number 7 is to promise yourself that you're going to film at least 2 takes of every single clip in the beginning. Now, I still do this with some clips. If there's something that I filmed and I didn't quite love my wording, I will likely film it a second time, and then in editing, I can always choose the clip that I prefer to actually go in the video. But I wish I had done this more when I was first starting out, because sometimes I say something and it doesn't come out quite the way I want it to, and I just felt the pressure to keep filming, keep going, when really I did have time. I could have given myself a second take or a second chance to get a point across. So I definitely recommend doing that when you're first starting out, and also to try and separate your sentences as much as possible, which I struggle with a lot because I am a very quick talker. This is especially helpful when you go to edit a video later, so that you can kind of separate sentence by sentence and have more clean and crisp cuts throughout your video, versus saying all of your sentences completely strung together back to back and not having any breathing room. Tip number 8, especially for any talking or sit-down videos, is to make yourself a bulleted list of talking points and keep it off to the side, either on your phone, or I always have my scripts here on my laptop just off view, so that as I'm talking I can glance back down, see what my next point is, and then look back up at the camera. So for example, the only thing I wrote down for this step that I'm talking to you about now is make bullet points of what you want to talk about, keep them accessible in a notebook, computer, or your phone off to the side. But I did add in a little bit of embellishment, a little bit of things that I thought of just on the spot right now, because again, I am a bit more seasoned with this video content creation, and I can take a bullet point like that and turn it into a minute-long clip of me talking. Tip number 9, I think, might be the most important one, and that is just to remember that people value personality over perfection. In fact, sometimes when I've messed up in videos before, or, not quite said the right thing, it's actually turned out to be better than what would have happened if I had just tried to stick to the mold. And I think your personality is what sets you apart in video creation. It's the thing that really draws people in, gets them to know, like, and trust you, which is really important for building a successful creator business and a personal brand online. So just keep that in mind. Everybody messes up and makes mistakes from time to time, myself absolutely included. So personality will always be more important than having the perfect video. And tip number 10, this one made me laugh, and I made myself laugh. I wrote it, I guess. But I think that the saying, always throw away the first pancake, is actually a really good one to apply to video content creation. I remember when I first started my YouTube channel, I was so insistent. I was like, I'm gonna sit down and film my first 2 videos. Like, they're gonna be perfect and I'm just gonna upload them. And I literally couldn't use the first one because of how blurry and out of focus it was. And I was so distraught. But now I feel like if I could give a piece of advice to anyone who's new to video content creation, especially if you are filming long form content or talk through content for your YouTube channel, is film a video and then do not post it anywhere. You can delete it, you can save it to laugh at years later, as I do with a lot of my older videos, but you do not have to share it with anyone. Just go through the process once to understand how it all works and where you maybe went wrong or went right. And don't worry about sharing it with anyone. So that's the saying, always throw away the first pancake, because it might be a little lumpy or it might not have cooked evenly. By the time the griddle warms up, the rest of the pancakes should cook evenly. So Breakfast foods and content creation, two of my favorite things. Okay, you guys, I just shared my 10 best tips for how to be confident on camera. If you have any questions, comments, or anything I didn't address in this video you want to chat further about, the best place to do that is to leave a comment down below, and I do my best to read and reply to as many of those as I can. You guys always leave such thoughtful ones, and I really appreciate that. And again, if you need more help with finding your audience, your niche, your voice as an influencer, I would recommend checking out the Influencer Launchpad. It was designed to address all of those questions and more, so I think you guys will really enjoy that. If you are new to my channel and you have not yet subscribed, please do consider becoming a subscriber. That really helps my channel out, and you can also turn on the notification bell so that you always get notified whenever I upload a new video. And also please do give me a thumbs up down below if you liked this video or learned something new. Thanks again for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!